Hey, y'all. Welcome to Cross Politics Sunday Special. Pastor Toby, Chuck Knox. I'm the Water Boy. We got David Yarnes coming up.
Yeah.
He's with the National Federation of Christian Businesses. Actually, interesting stuff there. We also got...
It kind of looks like Claude Van Damme.
We got a little bit. Jean-Claude.
No, Claude.
Claude.
Just Claude.
Just Claude.
We also have Floater Joe.
Yep.
He's a trucker in the middle of the convoy.
The Canadian
coming
convoy.
up. It's pretty fun stuff. It was really fun having Floater Joe on.
Oh, man.
Joe Biden and the Democrats are on the shoulders of Lady Justice doing their very best to yank off that blindfold that she's wearing.
On her shoulders.
They are yanking, prying that joker off while others are trying to put it back on.
Uh-oh.
That blindfold that she wears, it represents one of the most sacred and fundamental values of justice. To show no partiality in judgment. Not to the rich, nor to the poor, to the white, or to black men, or black women.
Or men.
Or, did I say?
Or white men.
I thought I covered where we're going here. I'll get to the
Most
white
of
men.
it.
I'll get to the, it doesn't matter anymore.
No, it doesn't.
I was just gonna say, it just doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's funny.
This used to be foundational to the civil rights movement. Remember the civil rights movement? We had one of those.
One time.
Am I not a man? Am I not a human? Am I not a brother? So much of what the civil rights movement fought for right now is at stake, and the retirement of Justice Breyer. Is it Breyer?
Breyer.
Is actually evidence of what's at stake right now. At the retirement of the announcement of Supreme Court Justice Breyer, Joe Biden has pledged to fill the seat with a black woman.
Person I will nominate will be someone with extraordinary qualifications, character, experience, and integrity. And that person will be the first black woman ever nominated to the United States Supreme Court. It's long overdue in my view. I made that commitment during the campaign for president, and I will keep that commitment.
That's actually federally illegal. That literally is illegal.
Right.
To nominate or to only say, I'm going to interview.
Well, he didn't say that he was only going to interview.
Nominate.
So to be fair,
He's
he
only
said
going to nominate.
Yeah. But
That's even worse.
That means you're not going to interview anybody else.
Yeah, NFL's been doing it for a long time. The most important thing, though, is that black woman should never be a qualification for being a Supreme Court justice.
Oh, I'm
just going to say it. And I'm going to say it like this, too. Nor should white man or brown woman.
Right.
Well, you put in whatever adjective you want in front of.
Right.
Just talking this way to me disqualifies you from the whole conversation.
Uh-oh.
In the same way that it actually disqualified Trump when he actually talked like this too, when he said it'll be a woman.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The only difference here is, and remember when this is when happened when Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, I never can say her name.
RBG.
Yeah, RBG, but Ruth Bader Ginsburg, when she died, Biden is just tossing an adjective in front of the already partial and faulty judgment.
That's right.
There is a difference, however, before everybody stones me, if I say this. As broken and faulty as Donald Trump was, he still knows the difference between a man and a woman. His critics know that. That's why they judged him on it so harshly.
Yep.
It's very possible, though, that Biden's pick might leave us with something like this. That is Minneapolis' city council member.
Exactly.
He calls himself it should be Andre Jenkins.
Uh-oh.
Now, you could also get...
Wait.
For those who are listening on audio, it's a dude.
That's a dude.
That is...
dressing up like a girl.
You saw me say he, right?
Okay.
He calls himself Andrea Jenkins.
Got it.
Wow.
That is not a woman. That's not enough makeup to even make me think that's a woman.
So this dude could get nominated by Biden.
Or you could get some sort of demonic mix of Rachel Dolezal and Jenkins, where you actually have a white man who identifies as a black woman. What did you just do?
I just flipped it back and forth a bunch of times.
Stop that. Don't ever do that.
You did say demonic mix.
Yeah, that's true. So we can kind of see it again. We could get this demonic mix of a white man who actually identifies as a black woman who could also identify as a judge, too.
I heard on Not the Bee, one of their reporters suggested that Merrick Garland is thinking about doing that.
I saw Hillary Clinton, but that actually...
That's
but a white
funny.
dude.
But a white dude
trying to go
identifies
black
as a black woman.
Why not?
Who else? Yeah.
Why not?
According to how Biden actually understands what a woman is, this could actually be our future. It's a little scary. I think it would be great if a reporter on the next time Biden has a press conference would actually ask him, "Yo, Joe, Well, what is a woman exactly?
Right.
Yep.
You know, you saw. Did you
Matt
see
Walsh's
Matt Walsh do that
exchange,
on, on
That's what
Dr.
I'm
Phil
thinking
or
of.
whatever? And those dudes were like, we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know. And you guys, did you just see you shared this, so I know you guys saw this. The Prince Harry and Princess
Meghan?
Yeah,
Markle?
Something.
It's not Markle anymore.
Did you see that? Yeah, they somebody did a blackface on him.
So there was yes, it was actually.
I think Knox brought that to my attention.
So
yeah.
it was French Twitter decided we should just grab it and put it up here. But French Twitter said, "Hey, this is how the prince or this is how the Queen sees Meghan and Harry," and what they did was darken Meghan up and completely revamp Harry and made him black. They gave him new hair.
He's a black man.
They gave him a beard, the black beard, and
right.
they gave him a darker skin.
Right. And the internet burned him to the ground, right?
They did not. They were praised, and so
what does that mean? Even
I think they were saying the Queen's racist. I think that's what they were trying to say.
So yes, so France.
That's how I took it.
No, you're right. So the France Twitter completely looked at this and said the Queen has a problem. She sees them like this, right? That's what they're doing.
They're saying it's a negative thing,
right?
Yes.
And so I went on the comment and said, "Hey, I thought this was wrong. I thought this was straight blackface."
Right.
But everybody's praising like, "Hey, they look better. This is awesome.
They're
this
like,
is great.
This is cool."
This is not, I'm like,
this
wait a
is sexy.
second. Yeah. So blackface Northam, that's good. So as long as we get the Photoshop right, that's all that matters.
Right.
If the Photoshop's clean, we're good.
We've said this a number of times on this show, but the thing that people need to remember in all this is that, Rachel Dolezal, so she's on the screen still. Like, she bought the narrative, hook, line, and sinker, and thought, well, then I can be a black woman. Yeah. She was born as a white woman.
My buddy went to college with her
with like blonde hair, like not just kind of white, like white, like I'm white, you know,
and like pale white,
like Nordic,
like Toby Alaska white.
He's not pale, but okay.
Nordic, like Canadian territory white.
But the thing is this: it is actually we're all from the same blood.
Yeah.
We're all from the same blood.
That's right.
And actually over centuries, over time, like you can be descended from people that had different shades of skin and different kinds of hair colors and eye colors and all the rest of it. That's not actually breaking fundamentally the order that God has put in creation. But saying a dude can be a girl is breaking that.
Yeah.
And so it's absolutely insane and ridiculous that people are screaming about blackface.
Yeah.
And I know sometimes it's been done for completely racist reasons.
Yeah.
But you know, this gal, Rachel, was actually married to a black man.
Yeah.
I think they're divorced now, you said.
Yeah.
But you know, again, she was doing it for ideological reasons that I don't buy into at all.
Yeah.
But there's not really a problem in this world if you marry a black man. You're a white girl and you marry a black man, and you become one flesh. You lean into that culture. There will be certain things about you that you would say, "Oh, that's kind of like you're embracing black culture because you married him."
Right.
And there's nothing racist about that. That's called being married. And anyways,
there's
nuts.
Well, one of the things that's driving me crazy about this is that if we actually want a justice to be on the Supreme Court, right? We want somebody who is blind in how they decide to delegate their judgments, not someone who's decided to be a black justice.
That's right.
We don't need a black justice.
Right.
We don't need a white justice. We don't need a brown justice.
We don't need a female
we need
justice,
someone
a male justice.
who is a justice in the full sense of
you're
it.
absolutely right.
And speaking of the Supreme Court,
So how can I trust somebody who's going to be? I'm a black justice.
Right.
But here's where Republicans are actually pretty dumb when it comes to the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
Republicans try to nominate someone who can kind of like get some Democratic votes.
Right. Yeah.
Democrats
score some points on this.
Democrats are like, hey, I just want Sotomayor.
Trump did it with the girl.
That's true. He
Trump
did.
said, I'm going to do a woman.
I'm going to do a woman.
My point is so Republicans don't really nominate constitutional conservative judges.
Right.
I want that to be a litmus test.
Right.
I want it to be a litmus test. Are you going to end Roe v. Wade?
Yeah.
Yes. If it comes up to my court, yes.
Right.
But what happens is Republicans try to play the game a little bit, while Democrats come in and say, I want someone who's like pro, LGBT, who's going to legalize homosexual marriage. The litmus test, Democrats have a real litmus test. Right. And Republicans get played in the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
And that's why we got Chief Justice Roberts.
That's true.
Get that off your chest?
Thank you.
Speaking of insanity, it's like I could introduce any of our stories.
It's true.
Former presidential hopeful Pete Buttigieg, now Secretary of Transportation, has set a new goal of 0 deaths.
Another thing that it's going to take in order to change the trajectory of roadway safety in this country is a single, ambitious, shared goal. And today we commit that our goal is this: 0. Our goal is 0 deaths. A country where one day nobody has to say goodbye to a loved one because of a traffic crash. I understand the scale of the challenge and the ambition represented by that goal, and I understand that we may not get there during my tenure as secretary. But the decision to commit to that goal in a serious way at a national level changes the way cities and towns design roads. It changes the ways companies build cars. It changes the way people drive them.
Don't miss that.
Don't miss that. But first, remember, when anyone denies God and his Christ, remember this. This is always because they're gunning for his job. Right? When you deny God, that's what you're doing.
Yep.
They're gunning for his job. Every totalitarian regime in the history of the world always has the goal of utopia, heaven on earth, perfection. Which is to say, they're always aiming to be God and the savior of the world. Mayor Pete also vowed to end all cancer, bad feelings, and wipe away every tear from every eye.
Actually, Biden was vowing to end cancer. Yeah.
He also promised to provide puppy dogs, unicorns, and free chocolate ice cream for everyone.
Yep. You just can't drink ice cream or chocolate milk while you're driving. You can't do that. So.
But whenever a mere mortal man tries to save the world, like Pete's promising to do, they always have to reduce its complexity. Since people are finite, they can only work with finite material. This means they have to simplify everything. They cannot have a free world full of human complexity and true diversity with people just doing what they think is best. That's called freedom, right? Totalitarian utopias always mean destroying freedom, because if Pete is going to save the world, he has to pretend to have control. And in order to pretend to have control, there must be only 1 or 2 variables at most. This means more regulations, more uniformity, fewer variables, because that's the only way they can pretend to save the world.
Right. Your car can only go forward and backwards from this point on. That's it. That's
at 20 miles an hour. Only an infinite God can allow for all the complexities of human freedom and diversity and save us from our sin and death. Pete is not Lord. Biden is not Lord. Jesus is Lord.
That's right.
He died for our sins. He rose from the dead. The only man who can save us from sin and death is the man who is also God himself, Jesus Christ. So what will it be? Christ or mandates? Christ or lockdowns?
That's exactly right.
Right? The everlasting life of Christ or the false promise of 0 deaths from Mayor Pete and going 20 miles an hour?
Well, part of the problem,
forwards and backwards.
Part of the problem here is we live in a messy world.
Right.
And that's how God made it, or actually that's what our sin did into the world, brought all this mess in the world.
It's naturally complex by God's design.
That's
right. Very complex. And then sin makes it
more complex.
Messy.
And the issue is not to be scared of the messiness. It's to be faithful in the messiness. That's what we need to be doing. I would also like to give it to Pete here for being bold. And not setting up like a hotline like Governor Youngkin did in Virginia.
Right.
I'm a little perplexed. Wasn't there a picture of Pete Buttigieg in the hospital?
Yeah.
Who was he? The one inside of the?
Yeah, he and his
he had a maternity a gay-ternity lead,
homosexual
buddy,
another guy,
friend,
yeah,
with a baby.
So, and he was inside the hospital with that baby, like he had the baby inside of the bed, right?
Right.
Like
he probably didn't sleep much that night,
like he just gave birth. That's blackface for women, first of all.
That is blackface for women.
First of all, I don't trust you.
Right.
If you expect me to think that you just gave birth, I don't trust you.
Yeah.
Another thing. Okay.
It's true.
Okay, so I'm gonna say, and here's the other
and then
one.
He went on 2-month leave for that.
Smacked him. So here's the other one.
And now he's the Secretary of Transportation.
I don't trust a man that thinks he can breastfeed.
Yep.
That's the second thing.
Yeah.
And the third thing was the other thing. Oh yeah, because of those two things, we can expect at the end of this there will be more deaths.
Right.
More deaths than we had before.
That's right.
So whenever the government, who is outside of their authority, operating, coming to save you, here's a perfect example, says they will take care of you and offers you something like this, like there will be no deaths. You should say, man, everybody's going to be dying.
But
because this is exactly what COVID did.
Right.
We'll take care of you.
We will save you.
We will save you. And because of that, 80 to 90%, according to Peter McCullough, of the people who died during COVID didn't have to die. Man. And they died in the hands of the government. When they say we're here to help and save you, expect more death.
You know, speaking of Peter McCullough, we're going to be in Dallas, Fort Worth.
That's right.
What's the date?
March 16th.
March 16th.
Mm-hmm.
With Peter McCullough.
Yeah. That's right.
And registration will open.
Live show.
Very soon. We're going to be in several cities this spring.
Yeah.
Fort Worth is the first one in March.
Website links will be up by February 15th. Club members will be able to
register first.
Register first.
They
got 48 hours. And what's funny is actually I put up the tickets. I was working on it on our website, and I accidentally somehow published the ability to register, and people registered already.
I like y'all.
So you guys are lucky.
I like y'all.
You guys are lucky.
But if you want in on that first 48 hours, you got to be a member.
Club. Yeah. Atlas gym owner sentenced for keeping gym open during New Jersey lockdown. This is to Knox's point. Never forget. First, never forget what happened in 2020. Don't forget it.
Yeah.
From the tyrannical government shutdowns to the tyrannical medical industrial complex, it's all a sham and a power play. Don't forget that. But also don't forget the government arrested people for visiting local city parks, arrested people for psalm singing, and arrested people for keeping their businesses open to feed their families.
I know a few of those people.
Yep.
Remember Atlas gym owner Ian Smith? He refused to shut down his gym in New Jersey and then defied the court orders by taking off his doors to the gym so the police could not barricade them. He took his doors off.
Those people.
Yep. And
Ian
was fined $1.2 million through all this and sentenced to 1 year probation this past week. So that's what happened.
Wow.
I think some of the fines were multiple fines. I'm not quite sure how all that showed.
Different infractions.
Yeah.
They threw the book at him.
He kept his gym open in order to save lives.
Yeah.
Why? Because obese people were in the high-risk category of COVID deaths.
Yeah.
And the government put their knee, on Ian's neck.
Yeah.
But here's what happened, I think, for a lot of us, and thank God, praise God for it.
Yeah.
COVID exposed how broken our government really is. Mm-hmm. And our government has flipped up, it turned everything upside down. Our government is not here to serve its citizens. You now exist to serve the government. And we got to figure this out. And they will do whatever it takes to make you submit, including shutting down your business, fining you, probation, arrest, all that stuff. We're in a civically in a real problem.
Right. Connect these dots. So what we started with, the failure for the government to just do justice.
That's right.
Keep your blindfold on.
Oh, you better. I felt
Put your
goosebumps.
blindfold on. The failure to do that is then drives you to think, I don't have this blindfold on. Now I'm going to save you. I'm gonna have 0 deaths. Right, which is a claim to be Jesus.
That's right.
It's a claim to be God. It's a claim to be Savior. And then when you're Savior, what we were talking about this. What might they do? Well, Pete inferred. He was trying to say it nicely because this affects everything.
Yep. That's right.
Because the claims of lordship are always universal.
Yes,
It'll affect how we manufacture the cars. It'll affect how we do everything, how we drive. It'll affect everything because the claims of lordship have to do it all, right? Yeah. But if you're not Jesus, you suck at being Lord.
That's right.
And it's tyranny, it's oppression, and it kills people. More people die. Yeah. And here's Exhibit A.
Yeah.
A gym owner trying to help people flourish as human beings. Exercise. You know, one of the things that's actually good for your immune system.
Come on, Pastor.
And what are they doing? They're doing a George Floyd, right? Yep. Knee on his neck, right? On the neck of people who want to live and be free. That's right. And this is the difference. Is Jesus Lord? Or is Biden Lord? Is Jesus Lord or is Trudeau Lord?
And our government doesn't want to submit to God. That's where we're at.
And that's why when we say Christ is Lord, we're saying no king but Christ.
Yes.
We're saying you, Biden, you must submit to Jesus.
That's right.
Pete, you must submit to Jesus. Right? Trudeau, you must submit to Jesus because there's no other way to be free.
The only other thing I want to say with this too is that we can't lose out on the fact that we are responsible for this.
Amen.
We have to take. It's not just their fault; it's also our responsibility.
We have not required them,
but we haven't required ourselves.
That's true.
If you have your kids in government schools, this is the easiest place for you to start exercising your authority. Right?
Why
to
would
be
you
free
send
of the government?
Why would you send your kids to Caesar?
You have to. You have to learn.
Caesar has free schools? Why?
That's right.
So he can make your kids disciples of Caesar.
The complaint that I hear so much, it's so hard.
Right.
Do you know what it's like to be a single parent? Yes, I do. My mom, I've been there. Right. Do you know what it's like? We have so many bills. Freedom is hard.
Yeah,
so shut up.
Yeah, freedom means taking responsibility.
You have only 2 options.
That's right.
You have freedom
That's right.
or you get death.
Right.
And Pete Buttigieg is going to make sure you can get the second.
Remember there was lots of free food in Egypt.
That's right.
Yep.
Right? And that's when the people were like, oh man, this is hard work being free. Well, let's go back to Egypt where the food was free and you were slaves.
I've been reading through Booker T. Washington's biography. and he was younger, so he's like 5 or 6 or 7 when the Civil War ended.
Okay.
But he clearly remembered, like, when the Civil War ended and it ended slavery, he remembered all the slaves being like super excited, and then like hours later it set in that they were going to be free, and it kind of got somber.
They're going to have to make their own dinner,
and and that was his point. He's like freedom for slaves is that transition is really.
But there were more than one set of slaves, though.
Yeah,
because you had slaves who had left and come back, take care of the masters, because their masters had depended on such a slave dependency that slavery had broken them in the other way.
Yeah,
and it makes slaves out of both people.
Right, that's right. And that's why the gospel actually cuts through all of this, because and this is why, like, the New Testament, I mean, it's such glorious news to both sides of the issue, slave owners and slaves of every sort, businesses, literally, whatever, because it knows that the gospel is central. And the gospel is what sets people free. You begin thinking, because you own your own sins. You take responsibility for your own sins before the Lord Jesus.
That's right.
You're set free in your heart. And that's not just a spiritual thing. That's not just a Gnostic thing. That's a real thing.
Yes.
And you begin thinking that way before the Lord Jesus, and it sets you free. Yeah. And wherever you are, that's why Paul says, look, if you can get your freedom, get it.
Yeah, that's right.
But if you're a slave, you're already Christ's free man.
Yeah.
And that's how we need to be right now with the government.
With the bondage around us.
The government's knee on our necks. You'd be like, but I'm Christ's free man.
That's right.
I'm already free.
Amen.
In my family, in my church, and I'm going to live that way.
Praise God. I need a lot more organ on that. I need it.
Our Fight, Laugh, Feast magazine is a quarterly issue that packs a punch like a 21-year Balvenie. Yes. No ice. Hey, where's my...
Does it cost as much
Where's
as
my
Balvenie?
Balvenie? Why are you going to have me read this? No Balvenie. We don't water down our theology. Why would we water down our scotch? Order a yearly subscription for yourself and then send a couple yearly subscriptions to your friends who've been drinking lukewarm evangelical Kool-Aid. Every quarter we promise quality food for the soul, wine for the heart, and some Red Bull for turning over tables. Our magazine includes cultural commentary, a psalm of the quarter, recipes for feasting, laughter sprinkled throughout the glossy pages, and more.
And
Where do you
next
go to
issue
get this
is coming out in March. You go to fightlaughfeast.com, go to shop, and you can sign up there. And it's on creation.
Yes.
And we got David Bonson's already going to be writing for us for this next issue.
The politics of 6-day creation.
That's right. Politics of 6-day creation.
Don't go soft there.
And we got some good authors coming in this March magazine. So
guys, I actually feel like we can end the show right there, but we have so much more. David Yarn from, what was it? Right. He has got 2 companies.
NFCB.us. That's his website. National Federation of Christian Businesses.
There's also the other one, too.
And he's got a Kingdom Business Association.
Yeah, so we're going to talk to him next.
And then
Florida Joe.
Oh, no. It's
Floater Joe.
Floater Joe.
I thought it was Florida this whole time.
He's a trucker in the Canadian convoy, and we talked to him on the road.
And we're going to bring him up to you next on Cross Politics, so you want to miss out, even though it really was that good so far. More Cross Politics coming up next.
Hi, I'm Robert Borton, CEO of Classical Conversations. Our most precious commodity is time. No one has ever lied on their deathbed wishing they had spent more time making money. They all wish they had spent more time creating a legacy. Our modern education system steals that legacy, steals that time from our children. That's why I'm passionate about homeschooling. That's why at Classical Conversations we want to give you more time to create that legacy, follow your passions, and glorify God. Visit classicalconversations.com for more information.
Did you steal my pad?
No, this one's mine.
No, you're a pad thief.
See that?
Hey, welcome back.
Handwriting?
Hey,
That's definitely mine.
Hey, we're trying to do a segment
He stole
here.
my pad.
Welcome back to Cross Politic on the one and only Fight, Laugh, Feast Network. This segment's brought to you by Dime Payments. Dime Payments is a Christian-owned payment processing business.
Yes.
Every business needs a payment process system, so go to dimepayments.com/FLF and sign your business up today.
That's a no-brainer.
When you work with them, it supports us.
Amen.
And they won't cancel you like Stripe canceled President Trump. They won't cancel you like MailChimp canceled the Babylon Bee. Check them out. At least have a phone call and then just tell them that Cross Politic sent you. Go to dimepayments.com/FLF.
Here, rip me off some paper.
Okay, all right.
Just rip me off.
Are we still talking about this?
Well, he's a thief, so I'm just...
Hey, with us on the show today, we are grateful to have Dr. David Yarns. He's the Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer at Morning Star Ministries, located in Fort Mill, South Carolina. He's also the co-founder of the Kingdom Business Association, a business mentoring and networking group with members and charter groups from all around the world. Dave has spent 30 years in entrepreneurship in a vast range of fields. He's currently president and majority owner of several investment companies, and his philanthropic work include development of microfinancing throughout India and Africa. David lives in Fort Mill, South Carolina with his wife Gina and their 3 boys. Dave, thanks for coming on Cross Politic.
Hey, it's really great to be here, guys. And I think you're right. I mean, just listening to your opening promo, can you imagine a sitting U.S. president gets removed from social media because they don't like what he's saying? I mean, man, we've got to change this thing.
It's nuts. So, Dave, tell us about, what is the Kingdom Business Association?
Yeah, Kingdom Business Association, about 20 years old. And this is starting from a time where people really had to get their minds around, this secular sacred divide. I want to give all to God, but does that mean I need to go to, Botswana and sell all my, goods and live as a missionary? No, you can run a business. You can, operate in Wall Street, Main Street, Hollywood, Washington, and be strategically used for the kingdom of God. So we developed a collective, where people could meet each other. We could get material out to them. And we've been going at it for about 20 years, putting together materials, training, equipping, resourcing, and then connecting people. So I don't know if I hit it all, but that's kind of the heart of the Kingdom Business Association.
David, does your business do like any lobbying? And does the Kingdom Business do any lobbying in Washington, D.C., or any kind of vocal representation on behalf of the businesses?
Yeah, well, we have linked up with another organization I happen to be part of, the National Federation of Christian Businesses. And to my knowledge, they're the only Christian business-centric lobbying organization that does direct response to Washington. And I have the privilege of working with them as one of the directors. And what a day, guys. I mean, you guys seem to be a little bit younger than I do, and I want to apologize. I feel like my generation, we let a lot go on our watch, and it's kind of like we rented a car.
Yeah, we blame you.
We ran it out of gas. We had a car. We rented out of gas. We left it in the field, and we're like, here are the keys, guys. Take it from here. We've exploited all the natural resources, and it's just been a hard time, but I feel like, Bonhoeffer said something like, it's not okay to just rail against injustice. He said you have to drive a spoke into the wheel. And, he paid with that with his life. And I feel like there are people rising up. They're saying enough is enough. And they're rallying with us, with the National Federation of Christian Businesses, to tell Washington to get out of our business agenda. Let us operate according to the principles of our faith.
Hey, David, what are some of the practical ways in which you guys are directly driving that spoke through the tire?
Yeah, well, we meet with legislators, and honestly, guys, we've done a poor job as Christians really educating lawmakers as to why things matter to us. Honestly, they just don't know. So we do one part education. We also find people. I think we've got somewhere around 27,000 people that are with us with NFCB. And it took a while to find everybody because everybody thinks like, hey, I'm just one small Christian business. I own a car dealership or something. And then now we're doing direct petitioning to Washington, where we have issues that really mean a lot. And there are a lot of cases that are coming up. I'll give you a couple.
Yeah, please.
I just got a hold of my great friend, Ralph Norman. Ralph Norman is a congressman from this area. And what a move he's doing. So he introduced a bill Tuesday, that's this January the 25th, that would prevent the federal government for tracking individuals based on religious exemption from the corona vaccine. Now you think like, well, what's the big deal? This is the first time they're trying to put together a campaign to identify you in a certain light because you're claiming a religious exemption.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Wow.
Yeah, and that comes on the heels of the IRS putting together, Biden is putting together like $1.2 trillion to increase the size of the IRS. I mean, the IRS labeled you, if you have a Bible study, they've labeled you as a Republican. That's Republican activity. Guys, we've never seen the kind of legislation and pressure coming out of Washington to identify and castigate Christian businesses. In my lifetime, I never would have thought this would happen.
Yeah. Dave, you said something interesting at the beginning of that. That's really helpful. You mentioned a big part of what you're doing is educating legislators.
Yeah.
Would you just walk us through a sample, quick, session? Pretend, we're one of these legislators that you're talking to. Sorry. and we don't, you think, okay, this guy means well, but he doesn't understand what really is important to us as Christian business owners. What do you think are some of the top 3 things that you want a legislator to walk away from one of those sessions where they say, you've got to understand this so you can represent us well?
Yeah, that's beautiful. Let me start there by kind of going over just a couple of basics. First of all, America, the only country in the world where you can get up tomorrow and start a business and you don't have to ask anybody's permission.
Right.
As long as it's not illegal and you need special licensing, you can start selling something. You don't even need a DBA. You could just start a business. And that's why things like Harley Davidson and Hewlett Packard and Apple Computer were founded in America.
In garages.
So just the freedom of lack of encumbrance and legislation. I mean, government, get out of my ability to do business. So some of these things, to answer your question, might seem innocuous, like identifying as Christian and putting together a regulation concerning the way I run my business. It comes across as this kind of mom and apple pie. Hey, guys, we're concerned about you. That's why we want you to register. That's why we want to make sure that you're not underfunded. That's why we want to make sure that you're signing up for all of our vaccine mandates. It comes across as this kind of bleeding heart to help you. But at the end of the day, it's forcing more and more regulation and identification.
That's right. Wow. Mm-hmm.
But then there are other things like we were watching a case in Virginia where a real estate company was taken out of the ability to have certain transactions because they had John 3:16 on their website. And this, wow. I mean, this is clearly infringing on my ability. I mean, whether you're Catholic or Baptist or Pentecostal, I mean, if you want to have, a manger scene in front of your building, or if you want to, say the rosary or whatever your Christian view is, we want to protect that because this stuff's under attack.
Yeah.
And the first thing is kind of regulation, censoring, starting to categorize Christian business, but make no mistake, guys, it's an all-out attack. I hope I answered that question a little bit.
Yeah. John, it seems like David. I was thinking of a guy named
John the Baptist.
I'm sorry, John the Baptist. David.
That's what you're thinking of.
John the Baptist.
No, anyways, I'll have to tell you my thought, bro. You don't want to go there, David. It seems like 2020 kind of broke or broke a lot of people, or we found out that we're really broken in a lot of ways. And we aren't as, let's say, courageous as we should be as Christians. Kind of. And I think a lot of churches didn't stand up to government tyranny like they should have, and then a lot of Christian businesses just kind of capitulated to the mask mandates or the lockdowns, all this stuff. So I'm having a hard time even finding Christians I can kind of fight with against this overreach when they just capitulated so easy during COVID.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, it's a vacuum of leadership. It's a vacuum of courage, isn't it? I mean, when it comes down to it, the other thing is that, America is the only country in the world founded under the premise that God is sovereign over man and man is sovereign over government. We weren't formed with a king.
Yes, right.
And, we, the people, if we advocate our responsibility, and I mean, just, basic constitutional right of petitioning government because of regress. because of issues.
Yeah.
If we don't do that, my God, guys, the legislatures, lawmakers are inundated by a leftist socialist agenda. And if they don't hear somebody giving a counterpoint to it, standing up with some courage, and the first people that are listed as being thrown into hell are the cowardly.
That's right.
In Revelation. Isn't
That's
that
right.
amazing?
That's right.
I mean, and I think now we've got a cause, something that can really band us together. And we're looking at some issues of social media, social media giants kind of looking specifically at Christians and deplatforming them and throttling them back.
Yep.
We're looking at issues where just government control into business is really, at an all-time high. Here's one that I saw as we were coming in today. There's a coach fired for praying silently after a football game.
Yeah.
Coach Kennedy prayed silently after a football game, and he was fired for exercising his Christian faith.
Right.
A federal court, including the ultra-left Ninth Circuit, ruled this because he was a school employee. Can you imagine?
Yep.
He's praying silently after a game. We've gotten to that point.
Right.
But I think we need to be courageous, guys, because I feel like we don't want to just wave our bony finger and rail at all that's going on. We need to be courageous and rally and do some things. And I'm seeing some incredible people step to the plate. It's almost like this line of demarcation where you're either with us or you're going to get swept away. So,
hey, David, could you help me understand? I kind of have two questions here, and you can choose in which way you want to answer these. I kind of want to know, what have you guys been able to accomplish thus far since you started? Because you guys have started in one way and kind of found a reason to exist in another. So, kind of what are some of the successes that you guys have had as you've been going? And the other question is, I want you to pitch me if I got a company. And why should I sign up? What is signing up with you guys going to ultimately do at the end of the day?
Yeah, well, for sure, united we stand, divided we fall. I mean, we need to get together with somebody to make our voice stronger and louder. And I'll definitely advocate for. I mean, there's a lot of great organizations that are out there. The FRC, the Family Research Council, great friends. Jerry Boykin's a great friend of mine. They're doing a great job. Guys, these are drops in the bucket compared to the number of people that should be out there. So whether it's rallying with us, if you're a Christian business owner and you say, hey, this really matters to me. Most of the people that are Christian business owners, their decision is being made around the dinner table. We're talking about the local car dealership, the tool and die manufacturer, the real estate company. And when you talk to them about, things like healthcare issues, they're looking at their daughter-in-law that's pregnant. They're looking at practicing businesses that have been around for generations. And now they're feeling threatened and they don't know where to go. I think it's a goal of Marxism to make you feel small and isolated. But here are the stats. 50% of the GDP of America is small business. And we believe that 10 million of those are Christian-owned small businesses. Wow. Okay. So if we can rally together and just say, agree on some common points. One of the things that we did this year was a big promotion for us. We put together a thing called the Christian Business Bill of Rights. And we had it really designed well. We went through with our, board and really looked at it, but put together some of the fundamental truths that you have as a Christian business and really got that out there to people to educate our Christian businesses. Because without that, I mean, it's almost like a deluge of fear, and I get it. I get it. You want to just be left alone and just work on your business. It's hard enough, man. Yeah. Keeping employees and paying the bills. I get it. Yep. But if you don't unite with something to push back on this kind of Marxist leftist agenda that is coming out, I don't know where we're going to stand. So, guys, I'm getting all fired up here. I'm sorry.
No. I want to know what the Bill of Rights is. Yeah. Can you give us the Bill of Rights?
Oh, yeah, I can send it to you. I mean, it's pretty long.
Can you summarize it for us pretty quickly?
Can you summarize it?
I'll send you this. This is a free magazine that we put out. And it looks like one of you guys on the cover there, right?
Yeah.
Looks just like Knox.
Not me.
and then I'll send it to you. But it's got the Christian Bill of Rights. So, I mean, number one, you've got the right to religious freedom. As a private entity, you've got the right to religious freedom. It's part and parcel with the Constitution of the U.S. So, we've got to start there. These are, because what happens, like right now, I'm going through a large freedom of information. We had a lawsuit in place just to get freedom of information from the government on some issues with another organization. And I'm involved in a big freedom of information kind of war, so to speak. But the big thing is that I feel like the government agency feels like these are our records and we're, doling little pieces and giving them to you. No, man, these are my records. This is our stuff. This is our government. Yep. This is, we've got to turn that thought around. I don't know if I'm articulating that well, but come on, man. We've got to push back on that.
What's number two?
Number two, the right to free speech.
Yeah.
It sounds like the Constitution.
Yeah. Confronting false facts. You have the right to free speech. Yeah. And I think that what happens is, you see someone that doesn't bake a cake because they don't believe that they should be supporting LGBTQ initiatives, and they get sued. The rest of us think like, oh my God, maybe I should, hide hide my head in the sand, so to speak.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple of organizations that I've worked with for decades take every reference for Christianity out of their bylaws, out of their public face in the last couple of years. And it's just first of all, Jesus said, if you deny me before men, I'll deny you before the angels in heaven.
Right.
But secondly, then the burden falls on a smaller and smaller group of people to really stand up.
Yeah.
If you just say, hey, I just don't want to be a part of this fight, I'm going to sit the sidelines. And I get it. One of the groups, they had a large donor issue. People were donating to them, and they didn't like the overt side of Christianity on their public face of the ministry or of the business, actually. Yeah. And they removed it to get more donors. Man, I just don't see it. I mean, I think now is the time for us to be exercising our right to free speech more than ever before. You have the right to free association. So for us, we have the right to bring Christian businesses. We're getting together this year in Washington, and we've got key meetings set up with lawmakers where we just go and say, hey, my name's Dave, and I operated a hedge fund and I operate a hotel, and here are some things that are really concerning to me, and make our voices known. And you have the right to, you have the right to sue. You have the right for regress. Mm-hmm. Last year, I was part of a large federal case in which people were suing because they were discriminated against by their government. So, we have to take this. If these liberties aren't used, I'm afraid they'll be taken away or they'll be mothballed.
So, Dave, where's a website that we can go to actually finish enjoying the rest of these Bill of Rights and to check out what you guys are doing? What's the best place to?
Easy one. nfcb.us. nfcb.us. I don't know if you can see it there.
We see it there. And you owe us go ahead.
I think the Bill of Rights is on there. The Christian Bill of Rights is on there.
And what's your website?
nfcb.us.
Oh, okay. That's all right. Hey, you owe us a magazine. I want one of those in here.
Come on.
And signed.
Signed. That's right. David's signature
I feel like
on
you guys are rock stars. I mean, for standing up and addressing some of these issues. Come on. I mean, really, I just want to pray for God's blessing and encouragement over you all.
You can send us a check, Dave. You can send us a check. You can send us a check. We'll talk about this in just a second. Next on Cross Politics. Oh, yeah, I'll tell you who to write out to. David Shannon.
Trucker Joe.
Floater Joe. No, Floater Joe.
Floater.
The whole industry calls me Floater Joe.
Awesome.
Because I own Floater Transport.
All right. Awesome. Floater Joe.
Where are you at, Joe?
We are in a huge line of convoys.
All right. Hold on. Don't ask me any more questions.
Almost in Ottawa.
We're recording.
No, we're recording.
We're recording now?
We're recording.
We're live.
We got Joe.
We're live with Trucker Joe. Floater Joe. It's Floater Joe.
Floater Joe.
Floater Joe.
Where in Canada are you?
We're almost in Ottawa.
How far out are you?
20 kilometers.
Oh, wow. You're there.
Okay, I think in miles. So I'll translate that.
That sounds close.
About what was? Yeah.
Wow.
I don't. Do they? Well, yeah.
Hey.
Wow.
Hang on. Yeah, that's crazy, guys. It's absolutely crazy.
So, Florida Joe, I got to ask you because Justin Trudeau came out and said, he got sick and couldn't meet with y'all because he tested for coronavirus, but didn't have it.
Yeah, that's right. He came in contact with someone.
Which is, we lost it. We lost the signal.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Okay.
You didn't. Hang on.
We can still hear him.
Hit that. No, you. Okay, we got to make it so it doesn't take phone calls or something. There you go.
Everybody is trying to get in touch with Florida Joe right now. Fox is calling. NBC is.
Look at this. Look at all these people.
Yeah, they're trying to do an interview with us.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so Joe, tell me this right now. Trudeau, he had talked about this, I believe, last night or yesterday. Said that this was a small minority group who was out here trying to flex their muscles, basically, and they really don't represent the large majority of people in Canada. What do you say to that?
I say it is absolutely insane. The guy's a punk. I'm just kidding. No, but this is unbelievable. The support and the amount of people. How do I don't know if I can do that, but it is. This has been going on. We left my place at 4:00 this morning, and we've been driving steady since 4 a.m. And it's now 1:45, and this has been the traffic. Okay, turn back to me so they can see me. You're my camera lady. But then right, and so the truck stops, transport trucks full of produce and food. And everybody's the truck stops full, and people are just bringing food out and drinks, windshield washer. One of our guys in our crew was in his truck last night, and someone came up and filled up his truck. $200 of fuel in his truck.
Wow.
There's people everywhere. It's crazy, and we're not even there yet.
So Floater Joe, why are all the truckers coming together now? Why didn't they maybe come together earlier? Why now? Both hands on the wheel. Both hands on the wheel while you're driving.
He's a trucker.
Send it to. Here's an army Jeep, guys. Check this out. An old army Jeep here.
Oh, wow.
Trudeau must go.
Wow.
We're just trying to keep this raw for you guys.
Keep it raw, man.
No, please.
Absolutely.
Right? This is good content. This is what the news ain't showing people.
That's what we want to see.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So what's
the news ain't showing you this? So back to this whole thing about this isn't about truckers anymore. This is about the Canadian people, and we're doing this for Canadians and Americans. The truckers just have the power and the vehicle, no pun intended, to actually do this. And it's not just a rally where people go downtown, take an Uber and run around. There's people that have traveled from BC, Newfoundland, every corner of Canada, investing $3,000-$4,000 in fuel and their time and their equipment, and they're here and to make a difference. And it is this is what the United States and Canada need. We need to step up.
That's
the
right.
Truckers motivated. The truckers motivated it. And we're done with mandates. We are done with the vaccines. We are done with all of this suppression, and the kindness and the care is just overflowing here right now. It is unbelievable.
So what do you
guys know?
Yeah, absolutely.
No more masks. None of this. We're done with it.
We're fighting for our children's freedoms.
Yeah, these guys have written on their motorhome. They're just, God loves you. This is God's land. George Trudeau. At least you can't unplug it out. It just.
Wow.
Floater Joe.
We lost the sound.
Did you guys mute?
Everything.
There we go.
Yeah, no. Yeah, she went and unplugged the phone on, so because you're connected to my truck.
That's okay. This is real life right here.
This is live. This is live. We are your broadcasters.
Yes.
And we're just showing you like this. It's oh, here. Okay, now flip it back to me because once we come up to these trucks, look at this whole row of trucks. In a second. So there's 20 of us just in our own little group.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Censorship is not science. So censorship, we've had a big problem with censorship.
Yep.
They're turned our cameras off on our roads so people can't see the size of this.
Yep.
Yeah. So we have
wait. Well, I'm sorry. Did you say that again? That just went by so quick. Are you telling me?
So there's cameras mounted on the road, like highway cameras.
They turned off the highway cameras so that
they have. Yeah. And,
wow.
and the other day they shut down some of the Facebook groups. Like it is.
Facebook.
We're exposing.
Facebook.
We're exposed. Yeah, we're exposing so many lies of this.
I saw a clip with the Is it CBC? Is it kind of your big Canadian broadcast company or whatever?
Yeah.
They were out. They were out at one of the rallies where there was like just thousands of people, and they had the camera at the very end of the line pointed the other direction. They had it pointed the wrong direction to show like there's like 5 or 10 people, and then someone else takes a camera and turns their camera around to show thousands of Canadians gathering, and the CBC guys got the camera pointed the wrong way.
Yeah, it's been unreal, and we've seen that, and we've seen that almost everywhere there's cameras. They're really isolating what you see, but 401, like we have the 400 series highways. They are the busiest highways in North America. And we were on them yesterday because this has been like we were in a convoy yesterday too, and there was people on the 401, on the lanes, giving it like unbelievable. Like the footage that we even have from that is unbelievable, but no one's seen that. So that's why I'm glad that you guys are able to be here with us, see it live, see it real, see it uncut.
So help me understand this. So is this? This seems very organic. Is that what's happening? It's kind of started and then it's become just this huge mushroom of people saying, well, I'm going to be there too. Well, I'm going to be there too. This thing is just organic, right?
It's blown. I don't even know if anybody knows the size of this. Yeah. Like I heard about, because I'm in the trucking industry, I heard about 3-4 weeks ago and I was like, trucker strike, whatever they're talking about. And then on social, just blew it up. TikTok, like I say, it's not TikTok anymore; it's truck talk. Yeah, because it's just all about this convoy and pictures of trucks, and I've never seen so many Canadian flags in my life. Yeah, and it's unreal, and like they're everywhere. Like there's just like this guy's writing all over his truck. Like people are just going maniacal. Yeah, Freedom United, we stand. And
well, we can't beep that out.
That was a Brandon. Brandon.
Yeah, there's some of that. Yeah, there's some of that. Quite a bit. And a lot of American flags too, man. Yeah, a lot of American flags too.
I heard there were a bunch of truckers actually coming up from the States to join you guys.
It's froze.
Look at my crazy buddy here. Oh, I don't know if you want to show this. I don't know if you want to show that.
That's where we're staying tonight.
Anyways, we brought camper trailers, and here's a whole I'll just get you some more footage here. So
this is everywhere.
Wow.
We lost the mic there.
Lost your sound again.
Here we go. We're back. It's back.
Okay, so we'll just be careful with that. So,
so when you guys get to Ottawa, what's the plan?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
You go to Ottawa and you rally there. Is there a plan? Are people talking about what you do when you get there?
No, I don't know we're just going to get there and figure it out. We don't know what's going to happen, but we have a goal in front of me here. You can't see it. And that's, we brought a set of bleachers that we have. And that sits 300 people, and our goal is to get it set up somewhere, maybe in front of Parliament or something. Yeah. And we're going to fill it with people in Canada flags. We're going to sing "O Canada" on it. I think that's going to be
there you go.
A fun thing to do. But we're just going to
make sure you get to the good verses in "O Canada," right?
Exactly.
Sing all of them, huh?
All the verses.
Yeah. We're going to sing the whole thing. So we're going to go down there and just. I don't know.
Well, Joe,
not everybody's here yet. Tomorrow there's still a whole nother convoy coming from the West guys aren't here yet.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Yeah.
What is it that you think from the group with this organic momentum happening? What is it that they want at the end of the day? What is it they hope to accomplish with this?
We definitely want all mandates lifted. We want all this passport and vaccine stuff abolished. And we want all this government overreach It's got to stop. But that can't just stop in Canada. It's got to stop in the United States too.
100%.
It's everywhere right now.
Right. So we need to all band together. I think we got to, figuratively speaking, forget about the borders in the United States and Canada. Step up. We need to band together and let's put an end to this because this is ridiculous. Yeah. And like in Ontario here, where we can't even go to restaurants.
Yeah.
Right? Like we can't go to restaurants. Like some people down south think we live in igloos, but the truth of it is, if you're double vaxxed, you can go to an outside patio and eat something that looks like an igloo. So maybe it's true because we got these stupid little domes that you sit in, and then you order a bowl of soup and it comes out on a popsicle stick. It's ridiculous.
Oh man!
So you gotta know it's -12 here right now, man. It's cold.
Wow.
I'm sorry, I don't calculate past 0.
No, I don't. Yeah. Well, it's cold. It's cold.
Hey, Florida. Go ahead.
Yeah, and that's another example of the dedication here. It is freaking freezing cold. Like -12, -15 is cold. Yeah. And we've got people standing out on overpasses and everywhere, freezing to death, but they're here for the cause.
Wow.
You know, I hear too, is it true that a large majority of the truckers are actually vaccinated? Is that true?
Oh yeah. There's so many people here vaccinated. It's unbelievable. It's not about that. And there's so many people that did the vax thing and they did all what they're supposed to do, but they still can't go to restaurants anymore. Right. They haven't gotten any more. Oh, people went out. Is that what we're supposed to do? Can someone pull that up?
That is,
this is what we're supposed to be.
Yeah, this is where we want to go.
Sorry. So no, like people are doing what they're supposed to do, and they're still. It's just it just keeps going farther and farther and farther. And people are getting tired. And that, you know what? That's where we're getting a lot of our. There's tons of people out here.
Wow.
Floater Joe. How did Justin get reelected? If there's all this uprising now, I mean, he just got reelected, didn't he?
It's fair. Yeah,
we don't hear the glare's brutal on there. There we go. We don't know. Honestly,
wow,
we don't know. I think we don't know because I don't know anybody that voted for him.
Wow. Floater Joe, everybody.
Hey, y'all stay safe out there.
I got one thing. So Jacob Rayom from Trinity Bible Chapel. I texted Jacob. I was like, man, do you guys know anybody? I asked him, I was like, do you know anybody in the convoy, any trucker in the convoy? And he said, we got this one guy that we know through our church that's in the convoy. Call him. And he gave me your cell phone number. So do you know Pastor Jacob Rayom?
No, I just know a guy that goes there. His name's Chris Wagler.
Okay,
he goes there, so he probably passed on. He's pretty proud of it. Him and I used to drive truck together. Actually.
Wow.
Well, there you go. Well, it sounds like you need to go to church and get baptized then.
There you go. Maybe,
we got an
And I'll say something to that. It's this thing here. It's crazy seeing people with different faiths, different beliefs, different everything, and they are coming together like brothers and sisters. It is unbelievable. We had was it a Sikh church? There's churches like these people are like, we don't care. Come up here. We've got room for you guys to sleep. We got food, drinks, tea, everything you need. We're totally open. Like these places are opening up like crazy to the people, and it's incredible. Just it doesn't matter. Like you could. It doesn't matter about any of that right now. What everybody is banding together is for freedom and for this stuff to come to an end.
You know,
no more satanic masks.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's what this is a spiritual war, and you're given the choice right now. What will come up is you can either choose to be a part of this or not.
Yep.
Sorry, just a phone call come in.
That's
Sorry.
all right.
No, that's just probably Fox.
No, yeah.
You know, I do want to say this though, man. We are pulling for you guys over here, and we are praying because at the end of the day, we know that if Christ doesn't bring liberty, there's not going to be any liberty. And so I'm praying that you guys are baptized in that type of worldview at the end of the day, man. Because I want to see a free Canada at the end of the day,
Amen.
And I want to see you guys having your freedoms.
Yeah. Keep fighting the good fight, you guys.
And our kids' freedoms.
And
We've lost 2 years.
Yeah,
Well,
here
need to get it back.
we've got kids holding signs saying, "Please don't take any more of our freedoms." And other signs where it says, "Kids are like, we need this to stop so my mommy can watch us play hockey."
Yeah,
like
Yeah.
Like,
It's crazy.
that's crazy.
Crazy.
Yep.
We've got
That's crazy.
Wow.
So that's who we're doing this for. Freedom is not inherited. We have to fight for it on every generation.
That's right.
Well, God bless you. Floater Joe, keep up the good work.
Awesome. Thanks,
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Drive safe.
This was awesome.
All right.
Hopefully we gave you guys some good content.
That was wonderful.
That was
fantastic.
That was awesome.
Fantastic.
Yep. We're praying for you guys and cheering you on.
I'll text you a link to the show. We'll see you.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right.
Yeah.
See you now.
All right. Take care.
Floater Joe.
We tried to name him Trucker Joe.
No.
That didn't work.
No.
But
It's okay. Floater Joe.
Floater Joe. It's just kind of like Trucker Joe.
Close.
man, it was really interesting hearing him talk about the fact that, and so Trudeau, this is what happens when you're wicked, though. You have such narrow vision, right? Trudeau is seeing this and he's saying, oh, it's just these truckers. What he's not seeing is the guy who comes and pays for the gas, the people who come out and bring food, the other people that are standing on overpasses that are cheering them on. He's not seeing that these guys are federally representing a larger group beyond everything that's going on here. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
I'm getting everything ready.
We're still recording. We're still recording.
You just completely checked out of everything. All right. You know what? Thanks, Gabe. Well, that would just.
This is how Gabe does it sometimes. You're trying to finish a show.
If you're single, get married. Thanks, Gabe. If you're married, have kids. And if you have kids, everything's so unorthodox. Go baptize them. Until next week.
Texting people.
Love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. Love your neighbor as yourself. Go fight, laugh, and feed. I guess his whole.
Pray for Florida Joe.
Pray for Florida Joe and all those Canadians out there.
Yeah.
This is Cross Politic.